Alright guys, so welcome back. I hope you guys are having a wonderful start to your day. So we just got the girls outside, we just finished milking. It's supposed to be another wonderful day. It's supposed to be in the mid-40s and just beautiful weather. Today is actually the last day for spreading, so I think that's what we're going to be doing today. I'm kind of sad about it and kind of happy about it in a way. Really excited to get out there and do it again, but I'm also kind of sad knowing that it'll be a while until we get to do that again. Either way, I'm really going to enjoy myself today. So you can hear the wash is finishing up running right now. The first thing that we have to do today, you guys can see I have a couple chain links right here, and the reason for that they are out is probably not what you guys would think. So we haven't had this chain break in probably a good month anyway, I would say. They've been staying in every night and also staying in some days, so it's been getting a lot of use. It gets run twice a day. And it has not broken in that whole time, so we seem like we have finally gotten past that. We've gotten past the links that are breaking and all the flights that are breaking. We kind of turned a corner there, but now we have a new problem because obviously you can't just have one problem clear itself up and then not develop a new one. So now our issue seems to be that the chain is just really so stretched that we cannot keep it on the sprocket anymore. So it'll run around, it'll get about 3/4 of the way done, it'll fall off the sprocket almost every time. Sometimes it doesn't, which is a little strange because you'd think if it was so worn out and stretched that it would fall off all the time. But sometimes it makes it, so it's kind of like Russian roulette of whether or not you're gonna make it. Sometimes you win and sometimes you don't. So I wanted to show you guys just how stretched out it is. So right here I've got two links that never got put in. They were ones that when Brent bought the last chain, they never got put in because he had extra, and we just keep them around to repair ones that are broken. You can see this is a Gratz chain, and it says that right there, so it's like brand new. They are a little rusty, obviously, from being stored, but they look brand new. They're nice and thick. Unlike these ones right here, you can see that right there is worn out, and these are just ones that got taken out when we had to adjust the wing board in there. You have to take one out every once in a while, obviously, because the chain is stretching, so you remove one every once in a while. So that's probably where these two came from, because they're still in decent condition. They're really pretty worn. I mean, look at this and then look at that. That's crazy. So we've got them set even right here. I'll show you guys. We've got them set nice and even. And you guys can see that this one right here is probably at least a good 1/4 of an inch longer than these two ones that are in good condition. It's quite a bit of distance for just these two links to have stretched. So what's happening is, I'll take you in and show you. So nice to finally have a light in here. Okay, so what is happening, I'll get down in here and show you guys. Okay, so what's going on is this little 4-tooth sprocket right here, this is a Pat's, it's actually a Pat's sprocket but a Gratz chain. They're basically the same thing. I guess the company split back in the 90s. They had some feud or something, at least that's the story, and they split, so they're the same thing, same company, just split different ways. Gratz and Pat's are interchangeable. So everything you see right here that's blue is Pat's, and the chain itself is actually a Gratz. It's supposed to dog in right where it is. You can see they dog in right there. What's happening is, you can see how close this one is to coming off right here. The chain is just so stretched now that when this swings around and gets to about this point right here, the tooth actually isn't catching on anything and just slips right out. So it's not quite as stressful as when the chain breaks, because you don't have to like run right down here and make sure you shut everything off, because if a certain side of the chain breaks, it'll just keep dragging this around and we'll pile it up in here, and that's just an awful mess to have to fix. So it's not as stressful as that because it just falls off and it just stops running, so you just come over and shut it off and it's not really a big deal. But changing it is kind of a pain in the butt, so Brent has to sit right where I'm sitting right here, and we'll take two links off. So how you do that is you just push that wing board back in with your feet. That takes the tension off that chain there, obviously. You take a couple links out, and then Brent will make sure he gets it back on the sprocket. He'll hold it there, and I'll have to turn this manually by hand, which drags the chain closer to him, and he'll run it on the sprocket until it finally reaches the point where I can hook it there, and then we'll let the wing board back out. But it's very annoying to have to do that all the time. So Brent is inside actually calling our local Pat's dealer. And when I say local, it's not really that local. It's like a couple hours away, but local for us around here because everything is just so far away from us. But he's calling them. They actually do make a sprocket that is for stretched chain. So he's calling them just to see if he can pick up one of those. And I'm pretty sure all it is when it's a different sprocket for the stretch chain is these teeth are just longer, so they have more of ability to grab on to the chain. Like when it comes around, if it's longer, obviously it won't slip off. So I'm pretty sure that's the only difference. But he called them and they said they still do make them, so he's gonna pick up one of those, call them, I think they're gonna order that. So hopefully we'll get that on there and get that fixed. It's probably gonna be a bear getting it off because I don't think this has been off since it was put in. So that sprocket's over 20 years old. It's actually the sprocket from the chain before this chain. So that itself is pretty old and pretty worn, and added on to the fact that the chain is stretched, it's just a bad combination. Probably just gonna put some penetrating oil on it and let that sit for a while and see if by some miracle it comes off. So what we had to do today is we had to come in, we had to measure the shaft because I guess they have an 1.5 inch and a 2-inch shaft. And I'm not really sure, I guess that's what the dealer said, but this one right here, you guys can see, pull it out there, just about 2.5 inches. So, probably you can tell what I'm saying because I have my camera in my mouth. But it's just about 2.5 inches, so I'm not sure if they call that a 2-inch or if he was just mistaken and there's like a 1.5 and a 2.5 inch, but it's definitely 2.5 inches. Hopefully that'll be in soon because it is a pain in the rear end putting that on all the time. So right now we're just letting that wash finish running. Then we're gonna head over and start up the International and get right into spreading manure. I don't think I've showed you guys, but we do have the Coon spreader on the International now. We had to take the New Holland off because as soon as we ran out of liquid manure and we got into the more hay chaffy stuff, the New Holland just couldn't handle it. It doesn't break apart hay well, so then it'll just sit there, have the gate wide open and nothing will be coming out. It'll just kind of like slowly throw a bit out. It's just not good at breaking that stuff up. So we put the Coon on there, which has the augers that go opposite directions, and it does a wonderful job breaking up hay. So we got that on there. And we're working on spreading the rest of that pile that we have, the big pile. You guys can see we didn't get a whole lot done because you can still see it. But you can clean out the freestall now, so that's a plus. And we shouldn't have any trouble throughout the winter now cleaning out the freestall. So at least we did get that much done. It would have been nice to get the whole thing spread, but having it for spring is nice because honestly I think spreading is spring is actually better for the ground. Obviously right now the ground was frozen, so it just sits on top, and then once it rains in the spring, that will get down in there. When you have nice solid manure, it will eventually break down with the rain in the spring. But when you put it right on in the spring, I think it's better for it because it just breaks down like immediately and the land can use it like immediately. Whereas if it sits all winter, I feel like it probably just loses nutrients. I don't know if that's a logical way to think about it. That's just how it goes in my mind. I don't know if that's true at all. We're just waiting for Brent to come back out and then we'll get right into spreading. All right, so Brent just came out and the people that he talked to, they don't have one, so they gave us a number for somebody in Vermont that we can deal with. So he went back in to call them. I've got to start up the International because it's on the coolish side, so we'll give it a touch of ether, not much, and see if the old girl starts up. Beautiful. I think that's thawed out, but we'll get out and check since we gotta let that run for a minute anyway. Got plenty of crap stuck in there, it looks like. Maybe they are frozen. That one's frozen. Brent said he started it yesterday, so it shouldn't be that frozen. We'll give it a try and see what happens. I think it is frozen. Yeah. I did, and it just kind of stops PTO, so this hammer right here is frozen in.
Try opening the tailgate.
No, I didn't. I can though. fact that I said I was kind of sad about not being able to spread it anymore?
Doesn't seem like it's that bad.
He's just gonna pull up here and he's gonna put the space heater on that and try to thaw that out.
You need a pail to set it on.
Okay.
Need fuel. Jeez, out. Everything's 5 times as hard with the pump.
Oh yeah.
10 times as hard. There you go. There. Didn't take long to.
Why, you feel it really well? Oh yeah. Man, it makes you want to just like crawl in front of it.
I'm gonna just start the motor moving out.
Alright. Hopefully that won't take long. It's been about 15 minutes and I'm getting sick and tired of waiting, so I'm gonna chisel out this area here. liquid stuff, so we should have had the New Holland. If you're thinking about being a farmer, watch me get splattered with poop and you'll probably change your mind. Load, and we're headed over into this little field here for our first one. The ice feels weird. Usually I have this spreader on the Massey, which has a 540 PTO, and we put the hook up for the 1000 PTO on this one just so we had a little extra spreading power. I forgot that the last time I spread, because I don't think I've ever spread with a 1000 PTO with this spreader. It shoots at like 1,000 feet, and I accidentally spread some on somebody's lawn. Thankfully they didn't care, but still it made me feel really bad that I did that. So first, PTO on. did this one over here a little bit. Now we're gonna put the manure spreader away, so I do have to spread out what little is left in there, just make sure everything's gone out of it, and then we're gonna pull it over by the New Holland and park it for the year. So let's spread out the rest of that.
Back up now. Keep going. Oh, perfect. Good. You got it.
Back in the metal building? Alright. So I guess now we're gonna back to the International. Can I drive over here? Is it wet?
Yeah, that's fine.
Sure?
That's good for it, right in here.
Yep.
There, dinner time.
Good place for it. So I guess we're officially done for the season. Tomorrow is December 1st, so today was kind of like the last hurrah for spreading manure. We did get the old girl put away, and it's going to be really nice to have it in here this year. We won't have to worry about any water getting in it and freezing and breaking stuff like last year. That was just a nightmare, and it's going to be a big relief to know that's not going to happen again, and it looks just great to see it in here. I don't know, something about seeing equipment in a building, it just makes it seem bigger. I don't know, but we do have the manure spreaders taken care of. They're parked downhill with the tailgates open. That way in the springtime, when the water or whatever's collected in them does melt, it'll just run right out and we don't have to worry about that. So yeah, kind of a rough start today, but we finally did get finished. It's about 2 o'clock, so I'm gonna head home for some lunch now, some late lunch. And a little bit of a rest before I come back here and start milking all over again. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I had a lot of fun today. Something about knowing it's the last time just makes you enjoy it all the more. So don't forget to like and comment and subscribe and all the things. Keep it real, keep farming, love tractors, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.